It's the story of a young, spoiled rich kid who lands in jail after a minor truck accident. But life inside, man, it's rough. Gang wars, a crazy atmosphere, and it makes serving his sentence a total nightmare. Some psycho inmates start eyeing this new guy, even trying to assault him. But then an old-timer and his crew take pity on him. They bring him into their circle, and pretty soon he's caught up in their shady business. So let's dive right into today's movie. And if you're into this kind of stuff, hit that subscribe button right now, please. The story kicks off in a police lockup where this guy named Ron is stuck with a bunch of other inmates. Ron got busted for holding and smoking drugs. In court, the judge slaps him with a 6 to 8 month sentence. When he gets to prison, Ron sees that every group's got their own gang. He hooks up with a white gang leader named Tell, a super smart dude who's been locked up for 18 years on a murder charge. Ron asks Tell for some legal advice to get through his sentence. Tell's like, "I'm busy right now, but I'll help you out later." Tell hangs with a crew of old-timers who pass the time dealing drugs in prison. Ron catches Tell and his boys intimidating another inmate to snack some drugs. The second the guards notice, they act all normal. Tell's been in the joint so long, he knows pretty much every guard. He's even buddies with the prison captain. In the captain's office, he spends his free time typing up prison reports and notices on a typewriter. In Ron's cell, he meets a transgender inmate named Helmet who warns him, "This place is crawling with predators who target young, fresh guys like you. Don't get too friendly with anyone too fast." Some hand-picked inmates get to hit up a singing show in the common area at night for entertainment. There, Tell's chilling with his buddy Vito, high on stolen drugs, watching the show. Vito spots a psycho named Mike, a Mexican inmate, talking to Ron and tells Tell, "That new kid's gonna get jumped soon." Mike and his crew, they're serial rapists, are keeping a close eye on him. Ron's cellmate, Helmet, tells him, "Mike's definitely planning to assault you. You gotta get a knife or a blade, cause you'll have to protect yourself." The next day, Ron hits the gym and asks Tell for something sharp, saying, "This Mexican dude named Mike's been harassing me." Tell calms him down. "You're only here for a few months. Getting into fights could make your sentence longer." Then Tell rolls up with some of his gang and confronts Mike, saying, "This new kid's with me." Mike backs off because everybody in the prison knows Tell's crew, and Mike's group ain't dumb enough to mess with them. After that, Mike and his boys leave Ron alone. Thanks to Tell, his crew starts talking to Ron. They head to the first floor to drink some homemade prison hooch. But the guards catch wind of it and start heading their way. Ron warns Tell's buddies in time, but they can't hide all the booze. The guards nab Ron and Tell's crew, throwing them into separate cells as punishment. Since Ron tipped off Tell's friends about the guards, Tell helps him out. He sneaks Ron some cigarettes through a janitor, along with a note that says, "Tell the warden and officers you're not guilty." A week later, Tell's whole crew and Ron get called to meet the warden. Ron sticks to Tell's script, saying, "I was just passing through," pleading not guilty to the officers. Because of the incident, everyone's sentence gets extended by a year, except Ron, who dodges extra time. In the captain's office, Tell types up reports and slips in praise for Ron's good behavior to help him look good at his next hearing. Ron gets sent back to his regular cell. In the common area, he meets up with Tell and thanks him for all the help. Ron notices that inmates often settle their cell block grudges in the common area. One time, he sees a guy get stabbed to death just a few feet away. Tell tells him to stick close to the crew at all times. Ron's still new to the prison, and Tell worries someone might take advantage if he's alone. So Tell sends him to the prison doctor. They fake a medical report saying Ron's got a fractured shoulder, getting him admitted to the prison hospital. The hospital's the safest spot for Ron. One day, the captain swings by to meet Tell's new buddy. He says, "I'm thinking about moving you to Tell's block with his crew, but you gotta steer clear of fights and drugs." After 2 weeks of chilling in the hospital, Ron heads back to his cell. He hangs out with Tell in the open yard, thanking him again for the help. One day, all the black inmates refuse to work. They band together, start a strike, and block off a prison hallway. During the strike, they kill a Mexican inmate who was passing through. Pissed off, the Mexican and white inmates start fighting them. When the fight gets out of hand, the guards open fire. All the inmates hit the deck and they're lined up and sent back to their cells. In the chaos of the fight and gunfire, 7 or 8 inmates get killed. After a head count, everyone's locked back in their cells and the prison goes into lockdown. For about 25 days, the inmates are stuck inside. The captain tells Tell and other old-timers to reopen the kitchen so food can be made for the guards and inmates. Tell pulls some strings with a guard to get Ron into the kitchen too. There, the captain's having dinner with the guards. He offers them fresh food and explains, "Whenever there's a riot like this, the kitchen's the first thing we reopen during lockdown." Slowly, other inmates get let out, because this place is way overcrowded and we don't have enough guards to handle it. Ron asks Tell, "Why are you helping me so much?" Tell says, "When I got here years ago, nobody helped me. I don't want you going through the same crap." Ron talks to the captain about switching cells, and he gets moved to a bigger cell where Tell and his crew stay. Tell spends more time with Ron and asks, "What'd you study in school?"
"You should join a job or a course here. It'll add good points to your record." He adds, "There's a new law. Small crimes or drug charges can get cut to just 90 days with good behavior. At your next hearing, the judge might even let you off, since you've already done 6 months." Taking Tell's advice, Ron starts cutting hair in the prison barbershop and signs up for a high school course. In class, some guy starts eyeing him. Ron ignores the looks and focuses on his books. But one day, that guy corners Ron in the bathroom and tries to assault him. Right then, the class teacher walks in, forcing the guy to back off. The incident leaves Ron shaken and powerless because the guy's way stronger than him. Without telling anyone, Ron grabs a knife from the barbershop and plans to go after the guy. But the janitor snitches to Tell that Ron's got a blade. Tell stops him and says, "I get why you're pissed, but if you stab him, you'll catch another case. Leave this to me and my crew." Ron's fed up with relying on Tell though. He wants to fight his own battles, so he grabs the knife and heads to the guy's block alone. The guy isn't scared of Ron at all. When Ron doesn't find him in the cell, he tracks him down. They start fighting. While the guy's tussling with Tell, Ron sneaks up and stabs him in the ribs. The guy collapses. By then, Vito and Tell's other buddies show up. They hustle Tell and Ron out of there and send Ron back to his cell. Tell heads to the captain's office to avoid suspicion. But the guards arrest him because the guy's still alive and ratted out Tell and Ron to the guards. For the deadly attack, Tell and Ron get thrown into solitary confinement. They're stuck in the dark for weeks. Tell sends a message to other inmates through the toilet system, and his crew takes out the guy in the hospital so he can't testify against them. After the guy's death, the warden and some lawyers meet with Tell. They push him to confess his and Ron's involvement in the attack. Tell doesn't budge and cusses them out, getting into it with them. Seeing his attitude, they plan to extend his sentence and transfer him to another prison. They also mention the attack in Ron's report, asking the judge to tack on more time, saying Ron's now part of Tell's gang. Ron rides the prison bus to the courtroom. When his case comes up, the official's recommendation gets him an extra year for his behavior and gang activity. Ron loses it, cussing out the judge and his lawyer. The cops drag him back to a holding cell, where his dad comes to visit. Seeing his only son in such a mess, his dad gets super emotional and promises, "I'll hire you a better lawyer." Meanwhile, in solitary, the captain visits Tell and slips him some cigarettes. He says, "The new warden and some officers decided to transfer you out of this prison. Your network here is too strong. They also suspect you in that guy's death in the hospital, since he was going to testify against you and Ron." Hearing this, Tell gets stressed for the first time in years, because he doesn't want to go to another prison. He comes up with a plan fast. First, he stops eating the guard's food. He cuts himself with a blade, smears blood on himself, and puts old rotten food on the toilet seat to make it look like he puked. The guards think solitary's messed with his head and send him to the mental ward. A month after getting out, Tell meets up with Ron and finds out Ron's stuck in this prison for years now too. So he cooks up an escape plan with Ron. Ron tells his dad to scrape together a ton of cash for him and Tell. They start keeping tabs on every vehicle coming in and out of the prison, looking for a way out. While they're showering one day, talking about the plan, a mentally unstable inmate's belting out a song at the top of his lungs. When he gets a chance, he attacks Tell and Ron with a weapon made from a torn dress. Other inmates stop him, but Ron gets a cut on his face. They're both sent to the prison hospital. A black inmate attacked Tell, so the white inmates start planning to hit back at the black crew to settle the score. But Tell respects the hospital's rules and says, "We'll handle this guy ourselves." Tell the white and Mexican inmates not to start a riot. He doesn't want a race war kicking off. A tall guy from the black gang kills the crazy inmate and dumps him in a garbage truck. Tell finds out the guy's body got crushed in the garbage truck and taken out of the prison. That's when he gets an idea to escape. He tells Ron, the garbage truck comes every day to pick up trash from the prison and kitchen. There's no security inside because the drivers crush the trash real good and nobody's dumb enough to hide in it. If we sneak into the truck with the trash and avoid getting crushed, we can ride it out of here and be free. It's a risky plan, and nobody's ever pulled it off before. Tell asks his crew and the prison's oldest inmates for help with the escape. Vito and his gang bribe the garbage truck drivers to go along with it. Kitchen workers hook them up with 2 big metal cylinders to brace themselves in the truck so they don't get crushed with the trash. With all the prep done, Tell and Ron are ready to break out. The night before, they get high with the gang one last time and say goodbye to their trusted crew. After morning roll call, Tell and Ron sneak out a line and slip into the kitchen. Some inmates help them hide from the guards. Pretending to be on kitchen duty, they haul trash bags to the garbage truck with the metal cylinders. Ron jumps into the truck without the guards noticing. But right when Tell's about to jump in, a guard walks up, chatting, and blocks him. Tell can't make the leap. The truck starts crushing the trash before it moves. Ron pulls the metal cylinder from the trash pile, jams it in the crusher, and saves himself from getting squashed. The truck rolls out of the area. At the routine checkpoint, the guards only check under the truck and don't realize anyone's inside. From the common area, Tell watches the garbage truck pass through the main gate. The truck clears the check and leaves the prison. Tell isn't bummed out. He's happy his plan worked, and at least Ron made it out. After, Tell meets up with Vito and says, "I didn't make it out." Vito cheers him up. "Dude, you run this place. This prison will be boring as hell without you." In the final scene, Tell and Vito head back to their crew in the common area, acting totally normal, like it's just another day. For another badass prison movie like this, click the video on the left or right. Catch you later.